Are you or a loved one suffering after buying Bitcoin? Are you fed up with the huge returns on investment? Fed up with all the financial sovereignty and freedom? Perhaps you're annoyed with Bitcoin's level playing field and predictability, or maybe you're just disheartened with its strictly limited supply and constant growth of your purchasing power. Whatever it might be, don't worry. Central bankers have got a plan for you. Introducing central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. It's just like Bitcoin, but without all the freedom, revolution, and financial gain. The idea is simple. Why have control over your own money and life using Bitcoin when you can let an entrenched communist central bank oligarchy control it for you? So what inspired us to create CBDCs? The short answer is, you did. When we looked at all the amazing benefits that Bitcoin brought to people all over the world, like financial sovereignty, freedom, sound money, free markets, and free speech, we thought, wow, the debt slaves are getting a bit too close to stepping off that fiat plantation. We better do something about this. Whilst Bitcoin had a good run, it's time for fresh ideas. And who better to deliver them than the people that hyperinflated and destroyed the current monetary system and global economy? It's time for the adults to take over. And the best thing about CBDCs is they are run by licensed, accredited, and regulated central banks. And central banking is a pillar of communism, and nothing bad ever happens when communists run things. The best thing about CBDCs is they take all the worst attributes of the current monetary system and amplify them. Here are some of the features you can look forward to when using central bank digital currencies. Restrictions on how and where you spend your money. High inflation and loss of purchasing power. Arbitrary and unpredictable monetary policy. Highly censorable. Restrictions on the time in which you can spend your money. Counterparty risk. Negative interest rate policy. Politically weaponizable currencies, attached social credit score system, constant surveillance and sharing of your spending habits with third parties. But if that's not enough reason to persuade you, every account opened gets a free travel clock signed by Christine Lagarde. With features this good, I know what you're thinking. Take my money. And believe me, we will. You see, the problem with Bitcoin is that it's just too predictable and boring. Why use a system like Bitcoin where you can predict the issuance and inflation rate of its monetary algorithm hundreds of years in advance, when instead you can just be kept in a constant state of uncertainty on a weekly basis by arbitrary decision-making by a handful of people at the central banks? Another problem with Bitcoin is that it makes things too simple and easy. What's the point in having one neutral platform that's apolitical and provides a completely level playing field on a global scale that can't be gamed by any single nation, when you can have many CBDCs with interoperability issues ran by psychopaths in a constant power struggle with each other? What about the magic money tree, you ask? Well, we've got you covered. With CBDCs, you will still enjoy the unlimited issuance of currency that we can counterfeit at will. Why use a sound money system like Bitcoin, where the amount of Bitcoin is limited, when you can use CBDCs and all become billionaires just like the people in 1930s Weimar Germany? And finally, with CBDCs, there's no reason to worry about corruption. As long as you're politically connected and can afford to pay our ex-central bankers $250,000 an hour to give a speech once they step down, you'll get the same treatment as all the other special interests that use CBDCs. But don't just take our word for it. Listen to all these amazing testimonials.
Without a doubt, the best thing about CBDCs is the integrated social credit score system. Not being able to transact is a great way to remind me when I need my next COVID vaccine, or if I've said something the government doesn't like.
Like most people, I don't like change, and that's why I love CBDCs. Even though people say that Bitcoin can fix some of the biggest problems in the world, to me it just seems like a lot of hard work having to manage my Bitcoin private keys. With CBDCs, things can just stay the same, and I can go back to Netflix and chill.
So what are you waiting for? Join the billions of other subjugated people all around the world and get your CBDC account today. Central Bank Digital Currencies, a breath of fresh despair.